guys, welcome back. I'm sorry if you can hear my AC in the background. It is currently 100 degrees where I am. Weather here has been pretty wild. Having only lived in Southern California for 8 years, I have actually been able to watch the weather change. So, it's been a pretty horrible demonstration of short-term climate change. But enough about depressing real-world stuff. Let's talk about cool sci-fi space marine stuff, specifically clone commandos, also known as Republic Commandos while serving under the Galactic Republic, were elite clone troopers that served in the Grand Army of the Republic's Special Operations Brigade during the Clone Wars. A result of the Kaminoans' genetic experimentation with Jango Fett's template, they were Special Forces soldiers noted for their training and elite status in the Clone Army. In 22 BBY, Clone Commander CT-411 Pawns gave command over 5 commandos to a Jedi Master Mace Windu, who directed them to engage in a frontal assault against the Separatist droid army during the First Battle of Geonosis. As the conflict between the Republic and the Confederacy of Independent Systems swept across the galaxy, the Commandos were organized into squads that supported the Republic war effort as an elite group within the Grand Army. It's only just occurred to me that the Republic Army is called the Grand Army, and the only other thing I can think of being referred to as that is Napoleon's Grande Armée. I wonder what they meant by that. One such team was Delta Squad. Following the battle on Deveron, they reported directly to the High Council of the Jedi Order, informing them that no survivors were found at the massacre site. Foxtrot Group consisted of commandos led by clone captain CC-557639 Gregor. They served with the 212 Attack Battalion until the Battle of Serish, where they were declared missing in action. In the latter days of the war, Clone Force 99 Bad Batch participated in the Battle of Anaxis, fighting alongside Jedi General Anakin Skywalker and the 501st Legion. Unlike the other clones, who were genetically identical with each other as well as their template, the Bad Batch commandos possessed various characteristics that set them apart from the rest of the clone army and even each other. Notably, Clone Force 99 used the prefix CT-99 compared to other clone commandos who had the prefix CC. History. Conception. In an effort to make super soldiers, Kaminoan scientists who created the clone army changed the genetic template of some clone troopers, leading to the army's first commando unit. The Clone Wars. 5 commando units served under Clone Commander CT-411 Pawns during the First Battle of Geonosis, where the newly formed Grand Army of the Republic, the army of clones created by the Kaminoans, engaged the Separatist droid army for the first time in the Clone Wars. During the battle, CT-411 and his commandos served under the leadership of Jedi Master Mace Windu, a leading member of the High Council of the Jedi Order. During the Battle of Christophsis, several clone commandos served under the command of Jedi General Anakin Skywalker, who ordered the commandos to stay in position after a Separatist retreat. The Jedi Council later sent Delta Squad to investigate the massacre on Deveron, retrieving Master Halsey's body alongside that of his apprentice, Knox. CC-557639 Gregor, the clone captain of Foxtrot Group, participated in the Battle of Serish. With the Republic routed by the Separatist battle droids and casualties mounting, Gregor took a shuttle to look for help, but crashed on the remote desert world, Abathar. He survived and was pulled from the wreckage by Borkus, a Solustan male who owned Power Sliders, a diner in the small mining settlement of Pons Ora. Gregor's file in the Republic military database listed him as missing in action. He was discovered by Colonel Meeber Gascon and D Squad, and after regaining his memories, Gregor then decided to assist Gascon and his squad in destroying a ridonium mining installation being operated by the Separatists. However, he volunteered to be left behind to buy D-Squad time to escape. While putting down an insurrection on Yalbek Prime, Clone Force 99, also known as the Bad Batch, was summoned by Commander CC-2224 Cody during the Battle of Anaxis to assist him and the clone Captain Rex in ascertaining the secret behind Admiral Trench's strategies. However, matters escalated when Wrecker, the team's bruiser, cut off the Yalbek Queen's stinger with a blade, causing multiple Yalbek males to attempt to mate with the clones. However, the team was able to escape to Anaxis aboard their gunship, the Marauder. After fighting alongside clone Captain CT-7567 Rex on Anaxis, the Bad Batch joined him and General Skywalker on a mission to Skako Minor to rescue the captured Advanced Recon Commando CT-1409 Echo. After the rescue of Echo, the Bad Batch helped bring about a Republic victory on Anaxis, and Echo, due to the cybernetics he was given on Skako Minor, joined the squad. Prior to the Battle of Kashyyyk, the Wookiee chieftain Darful was captured by Trandoshan slavers. These Trandoshans had made a deal with Count Dooku, but a group of clone commandos rescued Darful from the slavers. Meanwhile, the Bad Batch continued their 100% success rate on missions, joining the fighting in the conquest of Collar before the execution of Order 66. The Empire. Following the conclusion of the Clone Wars and the transition of the Republic into the Galactic Empire in 19 BBY, clone commandos continued to serve in the Imperial military. 50 commandos, including Captain CC-557639, were assigned to the Imperial base on the planet Darrow to train the first generation of non-clone Imperial stormtroopers, designated as TK Troopers, which numbered 1,000 soldiers. The commandos trained the troopers, although CC-557639, nicknamed Gregor, did not teach them everything he knew. The TK troopers were provided with TK trooper armor and provided security for the base. Eventually, Captain Gregor grew disillusioned with the Galactic Empire and deserted one night, but was tracked through the forests of Darrow by Imperial forces and was captured and imprisoned. Although captured, Gregor managed to activate a homing beacon for former clone officer Rex. The Bad Batch, who, with the exception of CT-9904 Crosshair, due to him remaining loyal to the Empire, had also defected from the Empire and become mercenaries for the information broker Sid, infiltrated the base to rescue Gregor. After rescuing Gregor, the base's security protocols were triggered by Tech, who used an old clone code, Code 16, which did not work in the facility. Soon after, they were ambushed by a squad of TK troopers and their clone commando officer. The troopers were incapacitated by stuns, and the commando was placed in a chokehold and made unconscious. The group then made their way to a turbo lift to reach the top of the base and escape, but were encountered by another squad of TK troopers and RC-1262 Scorch, who immediately opened fire. The Bad Batch managed to escape by lowering the lift and exiting, but were continued to be pursued, that's not right, by Scorch and his TK troopers. Engaging in firefights throughout the corridors, Gregor was wounded by Scorch when he went around the group from the outside, but was stunned multiple times and incapacitated. Another clone commando and his forces moved in from the opposite direction, and the Bad Batch were forced to escape through the base's exhaust vents that led through the mountain and out to an opening on the cliff. A clone commando and his troops deduced their location and moved in on the group at the exhaust vents. The commando and the troopers fired on the Bad Batch as they waited for their ship, and the commando was hit by Wrecker, who had arrived on the Marauder. As the rogue clones were escaping, the clone commando charged Sergeant Hunter and Echo, but was restrained. Managing to break free from the hold, the commando was hit multiple times by his own fellow troopers and fell down to the bottom of the mountain. Hunter was separated from the rest of the rogue clone group during the skirmish and was captured by several clone commandos and multiple TK troopers. He was subsequently imprisoned and taken under Imperial custody. Later, a contingent of clone commandos, the Imperial Royal Guard with gray markings, escorted the Kaminoan chief medical scientist Nala Se to an Imperial headquarters on Wayland, where she was welcomed by a medical officer. During her time with the Imperial 97th Stormtrooper Legion, which began in 2 ABY, Thera Niende was told that her unit commander, SP-113, was one of the original clone commandos which had founded the Stormtrooper Corps. She became more convinced of the claim after 113 survived a detonation from up close in 3 ABY. Equipment. Clone commandos were equipped with Katarn-class commando armor. Okay. What the fuck? That is extremely lame. Which came with a backpack where members kept various items like grenades and sabotage gear. They were allowed to choose the colors on their armor. In combat, the commandos utilized the DC-17M interchangeable weapon system and the DC-17 hand blaster, though those at the Imperial base on Darrow, like RC-1262 aka Scorch, used the DC-15A blaster carbines during the rise of the Galactic Empire. They had a small vibro blade in their right-hand armor piece. It's called a gauntlet. The commandos could also use a grenade launcher. Known members and units. During the development, Clone Force 99. During the development of the Clone Army, the Kaminoans experimented with the genetics of the Jango Fett template in an attempt to create super soldiers. While the experiments bore few results, 4 of the test subjects came together to form Clone Force 99. Referring to themselves as the Bad Batch, they used their desirable mutations, along with unorthodox tactics, to accomplish their objectives. The group was led by Clone Sergeant Hunter, who was strong and stoic and had greater combat prowess fearless than most. Providing the team's muscle was Wrecker, who was gifted extraordinary strength, though he had a temper. Crosshair was the squad's no-nonsense marksman, though he didn't like working with regs, by which he meant unaltered clones. Tech, while not physically imposing, was a gifted strategist and unmatched in the use of technology. Though experimental, they were viewed to be extremely effective. Following the battle for Anaxis, Cyborg clone Corporal CT-1409 Echo joined the squad. Delta Squad. Delta Squad was a Republic Commando squad that was dispatched to Deveron by the Jedi Council and recovered the bodies of Jedi Master Halsey and his Padawan Nox that had been killed there. The squad was led by Clone Sergeant RC-1138 Boss, and consisted of Second-in-Command RC-1140 Fixer, RC-1207 Sev, and RC-1262 Scorch. Delta Squad participated in some of the war's most dangerous missions. Foxtrot Group. Foxtrot Group, led by Clone Captain CC-557639 Gregor, was an elite unit of clone commandos attached to the 212th Attack Battalion. The unit was reported missing in action at the Battle of Sarish. Captain Gregor was also reported missing after the Battle of Sarish, but he later reappeared on Abafar with amnesia. Behind the scenes. Clone Commandos were first mentioned in Star Wars Episode II Attack of the Clones, indirectly during the Battle of Geonosis. The concept of Clone Commandos was introduced within the Star Wars Expanded Universe novel, The Cestus Deception, and the characters were later heavily featured in the game Star Wars Republic Commando. Clone Commandos were introduced into Star Wars canon through the Star Wars The Clone Wars episode, Witches of the Mist. And there we have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.